This is why you need to rush to hospital as soon as possible when your baby starts to turn yellow. Yellowness for the baby is called neonatal jaundice, right? And it is a very very serious condition. Na hiyo story nasikianga huko kwa kijiji huko atiweka mtoto kwa jua, that thing doesn't work. The sun rays are very very strong for the baby. They will burn the skin and they won't help to resolve the jaundice. Jaundice has got its treatment, and we have two treatment types. We have the blue light, what we call phototherapy, and we have what we call exchange transfusion. When it is very very high, we do an exchange transfusion, all right? And in all this, there is one common factor called dehydration. Dehydration. So dehydration is what causes all these other effects. And this one comes from maybe not breastfeeding well. Breastfeeding. Why is the baby not breastfeeding? Mama ako kazi. Mama ameamua kuacha mtoto ameenda kazi, all right? Or maybe this baby is sick, all right? Those are some of the factors. So please ensure your baby gets adequate breast milk. Okay, so in all this, you see dehydration plays a role to bring about the jaundice. So dehydration causes reduced intestinal motility or the movement of the intestine. Dehydration also causes overaccumulation of WBCs. Water level goes down. The blood levels now start to pile or to accumulate, and the blood becomes very viscous. And also dehydration causes reduced renal perfusion. Remember, urobilinogen as a component of bilirubin. Urobilin is usually excreted through urine, right? Someone here will ask what causes jaundice. Now we are going to highlight the causes of jaundice and the complications of jaundice. Jaundice is very dangerous. Jaundice causes a permanent brain damage, a condition called kernicterus. This condition is very serious, and it has got implication even in the future of the baby. It will affect the normal functioning of the systems of the baby. Remember, the brain, once damaged, cannot be repaired. Now, we want to look at the causes of neonatal jaundice, and we will start with the first one. The first cause of neonatal jaundice is what we call dehydration. So dehydration is where everything begins from, all right? And where does it come from? Dehydration, maybe the baby is not breastfeeding well. This is the main cause of dehydration, because now the baby cannot take oral water or maybe food. So the only source of food and water for the baby is breastfeeding. So when this baby is not breastfeeding well, the baby will be dehydrated, all right? So what happens after dehydration? So after dehydration, we go to step 2, and here we will get reduced intestinal motility. Intestinal motility. So reduced intestinal motility, because now this breast milk is the food for the baby. Now there is no food. Intestines do not move. They get static. They stay like that because there is nothing that can stimulate them to move. Remember, the bilirubin level is usually excreted through the intestines, all right? And some through the urine, but mainly through the intestine via the biliary flow or the bile. So when your baby does not breastfeed, baby will be dehydrated. After dehydration, there will be reduced intestinal motility. When there is reduced intestinal motility, it means that here, number 3, because now this bilirubin from the bile or the biliary system produces the bilirubin, the conjugated bilirubin. Of course, this one comes from the liver. But now there is reduced motility. It means the conjugated bilirubin will be elevated. What happens when this conjugated bilirubin is elevated in the intestine? So when it is elevated in the intestine that are not moving, that is, the baby is not able to pass stool, it means now step number 4 here, the bilirubin will be reabsorbed back to the body. Because now iko hapo kwa large intestine imekaa tu, so mwili naye will absorb chakula from there, so it will reabsorb the conjugated bilirubin. when it gets reabsorbed, it is converted back to unconjugated bilirubin, because it will be combined with this is a protein, and taken back to the blood circulation as unconjugated bilirubin. This unconjugated bilirubin, when it is elevated, it causes a condition called kernicterus. Kernicterus is basically permanent brain damage, all right, or brain damage. So from here, you realize that treatment of bilirubin or the jaundice is very, very key. We don't want to get here. Permanent brain damage, usually the consequences are very bad. We don't want to reach here. The baby might get even what we call palsy. All right, because of the damage in the brain. And all this is caused by dehydration. So why don't you breastfeed your baby? So breastfeeding is very, very key in all this. All right.